4-mile run. I started off with a incline of 2.5%, and I did that for the first 2 miles, and then the last 2 miles I increased it to 3.5, and then I was running at a speed of 6.7 miles per hour for the entire 4 miles, and cooled down with a 3-minute slow run, and then a walk, and then some stretching afterwards. And now I'm heading home, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, guys. Happy, what's today? Tuesday. I just woke up, clearly, as you can see. It's gloomy outside. It's not raining, but it has been raining. And it's so gray and cold outside. So, you know, that's probably going to set the tone for the day. I wanted to just get up and go to the gym and get my run over and done with, but I feel like I need to wake up. So most of the time I like to start my day off with a cup of hot lemon water, and then I'll have my cup of coffee, and I usually make myself a cappuccino. So today is a 5-mile easy run. Shouldn't be too bad. We'll get that over and done with in no time, and then I can start the rest of my day. Last week I ran 25 miles, and this week we are increasing it by 5 miles, which I think is doable because, again, if you look at the schedule, bless me. I also think I'm getting a cold. 30 miles, yeah, not too bad. Running between 4 and running between 4 to 5 miles a day. I think tomorrow is the shortest distance. 3-mile intervals tomorrow again, I think, and then 12-mile long run on Saturday, which I might end up doing on Friday because I think we want to go skiing. I'll see you guys later. Hi guys. Happy Wednesday. I am preparing dinner for tonight, and I grew up eating asparagus quiche quite often, and it's something that I've been craving, so that's what I'm making for dinner tonight. It's pretty easy. Okay, so the bacon's been cooking for, I don't know, 3 minutes or so. I'm gonna add the onion. And we'll let this saute for another 5 minutes or so, or until the onions are translucent. So I didn't take you guys with me today when I did my run. I did it early this morning. I was supposed to do a 4-mile tempo run today, and then a 5-mile run, an easy run tomorrow, followed by a rest day on Friday, and then Saturday would be my long 12-mile run. But I have plans on Saturday, so I don't think it's going to be feasible for me to get a long run in. So I've decided to do my long run on Friday, which means that Thursday it will be my rest day. So like I said, the Thursday was supposed to be 5 miles, and then today was supposed to be 4 miles, but I decided to do 5 miles today instead, because my Thursday run I'll actually end up doing on Sunday. And last week after my long run, my knees were kind of killing me a little bit. They were not very happy. So I preferred to do an easy 4-mile run on Sunday as opposed to a 5-mile run, if that makes sense. So, you know, just because you have this plan, you don't have to stick to it exactly. If you need to switch things around, that's fine. I'm still getting my 30 miles in, which I'm supposed to have done this week. I'm just changing the order around a little bit. And I think it's more important that you get your runs in than the order in which it's supposed to be scheduled. And if anyone says that you can't train for a marathon on a treadmill, I think they're lying to you. Obviously, I've never done a marathon, so I don't really know, but I think it is completely feasible. You know, when you're running outside, the terrain is different. You have uphills and downhills, and you can simulate that on the treadmill. You know, you can increase your speed to make it more challenging. You can increase your incline to make it more challenging. So I think it is very doable. We'll see how the marathon goes. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm telling myself I'm not wrong. So if you only have if you don't have a good environment to go running outside, or the weather isn't good and you feel like majority of your runs need to be done on the treadmill, go for it. But challenge yourselves, you know, you shouldn't be running with 0% incline at the same constant speed the whole time that you're training. Okay, so I've taken the onion and the bacon out and set that aside. Next, we're going to melt some butter. And I use salted butter. I actually eat a lot of salt, which isn't good, but I like tasty food, and I think salt adds a lot of flavor to your food. And then to that, we're going to add 1 cup of flour. Okay, so now the butter is completely melted and you have this nice thick paste. I think this is called a roux, I think. You take the juice from the can of asparagus with the milk and you add it to this. And keep mixing until it starts boiling. Okay, so we finally have a nice thick sauce, I guess. And now we get to add all the ingredients that's going to give it a nice flavor. So that includes mustard. That's 1, that's 2. Salt is 1 ingredient that I need to measure, but I'm not going to. It says half a teaspoon salt. And that's probably like 1 teaspoon, that's okay. And then some parsley. How much parsley? Oh, you're supposed to use fresh parsley. I don't have fresh parsley, so the dried ones will do. A little bit, a pinch of cayenne pepper. I don't have cayenne pepper, so we are using smoked paprika. That's fine, whatever, not a big deal. And then we add the bacon and the onion. And we're going to add 1 cup of cheddar cheese. Okay. You just stir it until the cheese is melted. And then we have to add the egg yolks, but I want to taste it before we do that. That's good. Okay. Egg yolks next. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Then the next thing I forgot the asparagus. How could I? That's like the most important thing. Even if you don't add the asparagus, just because we use the juice of the asparagus, you still get that asparagus taste. But this is what's going to give it a nice flavor. Okay, so now I'm going to beat my egg whites until it forms stiff peaks. I'm going to fold it in, put it in an oven dish, and then stick it in the oven for, 45 minutes on 180 degrees Celsius. So we have our egg whites. So I'm just going to fold that in. Okay, that's probably enough. You don't want to overdo it. And then we just pop this in the oven for 45 minutes. This is the final product. Hi guys. So we had dinner a while back and I forgot to show you what it looks like once it's on the plate. It was really good. We ate quite early because Leafy got home early and he forgot his lunch at home today, so he was quite hungry. But yeah, I just wanted a little piece again. It came out really good this time. Sometimes it just comes out better, or maybe it's just because I was craving it, but yeah, it was really good. You can see it has the consistency of a quiche. Really good, really filling. We didn't even have salad with it, it was just this. So yeah, I hope you guys make it and enjoy.
Let me underscore what you just said, and that is
hobbies. So, excuse me. I just got back from my 12-mile run. I've had lunch and I'm busy drinking my coffee right now. It was difficult. It was more difficult than I expected it to be. Not that I thought it would be easy, but when I think back to last week and running 10 miles, I felt like that felt really good and I could have kept running. But today, I struggled. And that's okay. You know, you will have your days when some runs will be more difficult than others, but I pushed through. So something that I did today that I didn't do last week. So last week I ran at a steady pace. I don't remember anymore what my pace was. But today, to kind of keep things a little bit more exciting and less boring, what I did was I started running at 6 miles per hour for the first 2 miles. And I kind of used that as my warm-up. Then I increased my incline to 1% and I ran on 1% for the remainder of the run. And then I went up to 6.5 miles per hour for the next 2 miles. And then I went up to 7 miles per hour for the next 3 miles. And then I went up as high as 7.5 miles per hour for the next 2. And then I slowly started coming down again. And then my cool down, I put the incline back down to 0 and I finished off my last mile at 6 miles per hour. So excuse me, it just felt difficult. I didn't have to stop or anything, but I don't know, and maybe mentally I think I struggled a little bit more. My knees were definitely feeling it way more than last time, but it wasn't to the point where I felt like I had to stop or that I was injuring myself. And yeah, I think music really helps. I don't know how people run on the treadmill without any music or even outside without any music. So the music really helped to motivate me. Very happy to be done. It took me, I'll have to check. It took me an hour and 50 minutes to do my 12 miles. I'll have to double check, but I think it took me an hour and like 51 minutes or 52 minutes to do the 12 miles. So I've never used gels while running. So I don't really know how I would feel if I used them, but I've been reading that it really does give you that boost of energy. I got really hungry around mile 9 today. I was like starving. And then around 10 miles, you know, I was getting really tired too. So I think maybe if I had a gel, that would have helped as well. So I'm gonna look for some gels online and try them out. I'm definitely gonna use them for my next long run. So I'll let you guys know how those work. That's it. Tomorrow is a rest day. I will not be doing any running at all. We're supposed to go skiing tomorrow. So that's what I'm doing on my rest day. And then I'll be back on Sunday. And we have 4 miles left to run this week. And then we're ending the week off with 30 miles. So yeah, that'll be the completion of week 4. Hi guys, happy Sunday. I just wanted to come on here real quick and say I did do my 4-mile run this morning on the treadmill. I don't know if you can see behind me, but it is snowing. So definitely won't be running outside tomorrow. It was a pretty easy run, 6.5 miles per hour, no incline, just nice steady pace. So yeah, I just wanted to end off the week, say happy Sunday, and I hope I see you next week for week 5 of marathon training. Okay, love you, bye.